Hi everyone, my name is Shivani Tyagi, your philosophy and ethics teacher. So on my video, a student commented that he wants to know that what kind of table and how to make it. So if you remember, I told you to make a table of all philosophers. Why? Because UPSC doesn't want to know that if you know these thinkers or not. They want to know that if you can connect these thinkers, right, all together, like Western philosophy with Indian philosophy, and then with real life examples. So I came with the example. So like this table, this can go more mass and more clear and more in detail. So let's understand how we should do it. So as you remember, I told you to write thinkers name, right, like this, and then write their theories also, like in general what their theory is about, and then also make one table, one block for cause and effect. Why? Because cause and effect and these concepts are which are being repeated. Then you can also make one thinker like Kant, which is like very important, and then Russell and Wittgenstein. Compare their theory, because Russell is the one who started language theory, right? Who wanted to improve, who wanted to give language in such a way which could reflect the reality, right? Like a mirror, right? So these are the things. This is how you have to compare them. So now let's see how I have made this table. So first of all, write the thinkers, the school that they belong to. Then philosophy, what theory that they give. Like for example, in Sankhya, it says Satkaryavad, right? It says that it talks about Prakriti and Purusha in general. This is the theory that Sankhya talks about, right? Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti, which means basically nature, and Purusha, which talks about consciousness and how they are related to it. This is the theory of Sankhya, right? But when we talk about Satkaryavad, the one pointer, the one heading, the one topic of Sankhya, right? So I'm taking example of this. You have to add another things, Anekanvad, all these philosophers. So these are the things that you have to include when we are talking about Jainism. You have to write basically Anekanvad also, other theories of it also, and same goes with it. So I just came with an example. I'm just telling you that how you have to write it. For example, there is Satkaryavad I've given. Now explain that what Satkaryavad is. Then explain the cause and effect theory of it, right? What are the karya and karan it comes up with. Then it talks about effect, that karya is real and already present in the cause, right? This is what it talks about. And prakriti is the one which changes, and it's not the creation which changes, right? So it says that cause is already there, right? So if a potter is thinking to make any pot, right, so that is already present in there, present in the clay, right? So this is the example. You can write example or a word, a small word like clay, so that you can remember, and this table will help you before examination. 2 days before, you just have to pick this table and revise it. That's it. So this is why write one example of clay over here. So yes, whenever you are going to write about Satkaryavad, this is the example you are going to follow, right? And this is how you have to make it. Then when we talk about that how it is related with other thinker, then you have to write that it is related to and opposes it Nyaya or Satkaryavad, right? So Satkaryavad talks about that it is present in basically the cause is present in the effect, and A Satkaryavad is basically it talks about that it's not present there, right? So this is opposite of Satkaryavad. Now how we are going to link Western philosopher? So it is very important that you are understanding these, and you have to point out very small details of it. And while mentioning in UPSC, that is the uniqueness that will be pointed out. So make sure that you are pointing out, you are writing those theories very clearly and with examples, right? So when we talk about comparison, I have compared it with Aristotle, right? That potentiality and actuality theory. If you remember, then I discussed it with you in the class also, and I made video also on this, that there is potentiality, whatever the subject and object is, right? Potentiality is present there, right? And then it becomes the actuality, right? And effect is potentiality in the cause, right? So for this, you can give me example in the comment section, and I'll be waiting and I'll be telling you that if it's correct or not, right? Then you can write examples over here. Small word, just a word for you so that you can understand. I'm saying it again. These notes are for you. They are not for anyone else. So doesn't matter you make such table, you make more pointers into it, you color them, you not color them, you make them bold or not. So that totally depends on you, because these are for you. This will definitely help you when you will remember these theories. So make sure that you are revising them again and again. Next, when we talk about Nyaya Vaishika, so what Nyaya is more logical, right? It's concerning more about logical theories as compared to Sankhya and Jainism and other Buddhism theories, right? So it talks about, like I've taken example of Satkaryavad, which is opposite of Sankhya philosophy, Satkaryavad, right? Which says that cause is already present in effect, right? So it is opposite of that. Then you have to mention that what is the cause and effect, theory talks about. And then write examples of it. You can take example of play again, but you can take another examples also. Then you have to compare it with Hume's theory. If you remember, then Hume gives that cause and effect relation is observed, it is not inherent. Then I explained it to you in the class that if ball A is hitting ball B, then there is not any cause and effect seen, right? So basically that cause and effect is not seen. Basically it is what? An event. There is an event which is occurring one after another, right? This is what it says. So it is not talking about cause and effect. It says that there is some event which is occurring, right? And this event, he did not call it cause, right? So he denied it and called that there is always an event occur which leads to another thing, right? And this is the example that you can write in Hume's theory, the Boole theory. So in front of it, you can write example of Boole, right? So these are the things that you have to come up with. If you can come with the unique and very precise example which you think which will explain your theory more efficiently and more better way, then you can write those examples, because your uniqueness will be observed in the answer. In 150 words and 250 words, I totally agree that it's not very, it's not basically possible to explain the answer, but you have to, because that's the task. The time management is the task, which will come how? Through practice, right? And another thing is that you have to maintain speed. Writing 150 words, 250 words in 5-6 maximum minutes, that is very much tough, right? And this is how you have to manage. This table will help you to recognize, to remember all these philosophers. And as I said you before also, their philosophy is tough because they are contradicting each other. Western philosophers are comparing each other. They are basically giving criticism with each other. And then you have to compare Western philosophy with Indian philosophy. This is another task. And with this, you have other factors also to consider. These factors, the time management, speed, right? So all these things, and then presentation should be there. Then you have to mention all of these things all together. So make sure that you are working in a smart way. Hard work is necessary, but working in a smart way is also very necessary. So make sure that this table is ready. Whenever you are starting, doesn't matter you're starting with Western philosophy, doesn't matter you're starting with Indian philosophy, just make sure that this smart way is reflected in your answers. Okay. So next we talk about Advaita Vedanta. So it talks about that Brahma is the ultimate reality, right? So this is the basically basic theory that it gives. So when it talks about cause and effect theory of it says that Brahma, it does not really change. It remains the same, right? So it doesn't matter in what reality and what way we are seeing Brahma, it is going to remain same. So for example, in this, you can explain the example of snake and rope, which is very famous in Indian philosophy, that a person moves in a room and it sees rope and it basically thinks that that is a snake, right? So this assumption, this illusion, right, this doesn't change the fact that it was not snake but it was a rope, right? It doesn't change the identity of it. So it doesn't matter what Brahma is, right? Brahma remains the same. So reality is Brahma and the effect is illusion, right? And that illusion, the Maya, which thought that basically that snake was rope, right? This is the basically coverage that is arising in us, and this is what we have to remove, right? And same is given by Jainism and Buddhism also. But here Brahma is the ultimate reality. But in Jainism and Buddhism, the reality, it talks about the different schools, right? For that I have made different videos. You can check it out. Then when we talk about comparing it with other philosophers, then Plato is the best example to compare it with Vivartavada, right? Why? Because it talks about idealism, that ultimate reality is changeless, world is appearance, right? That whatever the ultimate reality is, it is changeless, and the world which is appearing to us, you are seeing to me and I am seeing to us, this is just an appearance to us, right? So that is basically, it talks about that there are two worlds. Now first world is the real world, where those actual substance objects are present, right? So that is the real world. And then it talks about the illusion, another world. And this another world is the world where we are living, right? So these are the two worlds that Plato talks about, right? And in the same way, it talks about Brahma also talks, where Brahma is also mentioned, and Advaita Vedanta explains that doesn't matter what cause and effect is, right? The Brahma, the ultimate cause, it is going to be unchanged. It will remain forever. So this illusion, this Maya cannot change the ultimate cause, which is Brahma, right? So this is how you have to compare these philosophers. I know you might be thinking that it is very tough, but once you'll start remembering these philosophies, once you'll start writing answers, once you'll start building your concepts, it will be very, very easy. My students come with, starts emerging these philosophers so amazingly that I cannot tell you. And it will happen with you also. But first, you should have patience and you should learn and understand these philosophers, in a way which you can think of. First of all, understand their philosophies, because I do understand that their perspective was much, much different. Writing some theories 1,000 years ago and then remembering it and then basically analyzing it and implementing it in today's life, it's tough, right? But first of all, understand what they were saying. Then, if you want to come with criticism, write it down, because this is the best thing you are doing. Then compare it all together, what they are saying, because it will help you in answer writing. And UPSC wants it. Now the questions are not direct. They don't want to ask you the definition. They are implementing it with modern society, Indian society, and with world. So this is how you have to prepare yourself. And this table format which I come up with, this is the best thing that you can do to philosophy optional. So if you want another thing and if you want to discuss more about this, then I can come with another video. Rest, thank you.